Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. We've been having fun, that's what I'll call it, looking through the Quran and looking at different ayat and thumbing through our dictionaries, trying to hone in our translation skills. And I think for that purpose, I think there was a lot of benefit to be had over the last 5 weeks. Nevertheless, I think our lessons from here on out need to be a bit more systematic. I think you guys have come, mashallah, a long way. I don't think your reading of Arabic will be the same. Yeah, I think there was some development, but I do think that we also want to develop more skills and to focus on honing those skills a bit more. So, what we're going to do for this week, for week 5 homework, is basically over the next 5 days, you'll get a video each day that kind of captures the main lessons that we would have taken over the last 5 weeks. We're also going to still reference Quran, but I'm going to give you specific tasks related to what it is that the book wants us to learn, and we'll just focus on those things, but we'll still keep our connection with the Quran. So this is the first of 5 lessons. You'll get this video late on Monday, which means you probably won't work on it till Tuesday, which is okay. That's when I want you to start. So this will be for Tuesday. This is not homework again, because homework is to reinforce what you've taken. Because we're taking these concepts from the beginning, then this is just going to be like it's classwork. But instead of doing it in the class, we'll do it as videos. So you'll have a video for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we'll review all of those concepts together when we come to class on Sunday, inshallah. So in this first lesson, which is lesson 13 and 14 from the book, the first concept that they want you to keep in mind is that plural isms fall under the same categories as singular isms. In the class that we had some time ago, we divided isms into 2 categories, into mu'rab and into mabni. By mu'rab, we mean that the ending changes by taking a dhamma, a fatha, and a kasra. By mabni, which means built or constructed, we mean that the ism stays the same regardless of its position in the sentence. And so let's look at this first example here. We're starting from hadha and talib. So hadha, we said, is mabni, that no matter where you put it in the sentence, if you say hadha is the subject, or you say min hadha, hadha is going to stay exactly the same. You're not going to see a kasra or a dhamma or a fatha come on it and change according to its position. Okay? So when this word changes into plural now, hadha becomes haula, it's still in that same category. It's still what we would call mabni, that is going to stay in that structure no matter where it is. The word that comes after it, talib, is not mabni. It is mu'rab, meaning it changes. The end of it changes depending on where it is in the sentence. So this is talibun. If we put min in front of it, then it would be talibin with a kasra. Okay, so that's the first part of this, that we can divide plural isms into 2 categories depending on whether or not they change, into mabni, like haula'i, meaning it's built, it doesn't change, and into mu'rab, like tulab, where the ending does change. The second thing they want you to understand in this lesson is that we can break mu'rab isms, isms that change in the end. We can break those into 2 categories as well. We're only going to deal with 1 category in this lesson, and we'll review what we've taken in our next lesson and introduce the second category. This first category of ism that is mu'rab, meaning that the ending can change, fatha, kasra, dhamma, is what we call jam'u at-taksir. Jam'u taksir. If you listen to the word taksir, then you'll hear that there is a ka, sa, and ra. Kasara means broken. So jamu taksir means that the original form of the plural is broken up. It's not quite, yeah, I guess you could call it an irregular plural, meaning that it's not going to keep its same form. Okay, so look at talib here. When we change talib into a plural, we've made some real serious changes to its form. So the ta has an aleph here, followed by a lam and a ba. Here when we have this plural, which is tulab, there's no aleph after the ta anymore. There's not simply one lam here anymore. There's two, which we indicate by the shadda. Now there's an aleph after the lam. Okay, so we've broken the original structure. So when you break the original structure, that's called jamu taksir. Yeah, broken or irregular plurals. And so all of the plurals that we're dealing here with on this page, page 69, and then continuing on to the next page, all of these until you get here, all of these are broken plurals or irregular plurals. The original singular form changes into when it goes into the plural form. Now we're just going to brush on that second category because I just want you to see it, okay? Look at mudarris. When we change it to the plural, mudarris is still there. We've just added a waw and a noon. When we change muhandis, muhandis is still there. We just add a waw and a noon. When we have falah, falah is still there. We've just added a waw and a noon. Mujtahid, mujtahid is still there. We've just added a waw and a noon. Muslim, Muslim is still here. We've just added a waw and a noon. Okay, but we're going to discuss that category in the next video. In this video, we're looking at broken or irregular plurals. So all of these plurals are irregular. And as we mentioned in our very first class, it's important just to pick up the different forms that you see and just get accustomed to recognizing a plural when you see one and the indications of a plural word, okay? So now we're going to come to our Word document, okay? So again, same concept. We have hada talib, okay? Hada talib. It changes into haula'i tulab. And again, haula'i is mabni. It doesn't change no matter where it is in the sentence, while tulab is mu'rab, meaning it does change in a sentence. And again, you don't need to know that technical terminology. You just need to understand that general classification. To give you again another indication here, haula'i has a kesra here in the beginning. It doesn't have a dhamma, even when it's the subject of a sentence. Well, when we put min in front of it, meaning that it has a preposition now in front of it, it doesn't structurally change. Why doesn't it change? Because it's mabni, okay? The sister word for haula'i is ulaika, okay? And ulaika is also mabni, which comes from dhalika. Again, this is the plural. It is mabni. It doesn't change, okay? So let's go here. So here we have a sentence. So ila ulaika, ulaika doesn't change after the preposition, and ulaika, it doesn't change as the subject of a sentence. But here we have again another broken plural. Now ashab comes from the word sahib. Okay, sahib. So sahib changed to ashab. And so again, you see that there is a structural change there. We've added a hamza to the beginning of this. We've put a sukoon on this. We've moved the aleph to after the ha. So this is jam'u taksir, and it's an irregular or broken plural that doesn't keep its original form. If we were going to translate this sentence, we would say, those are the companions or the inhabitants of hell. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from that. Okay? So that's our first lesson. It's just number one, recognizing that plurals can be broken into two categories, mabniyu and mu'rab. And again, that's what we see in this very first lesson. That for mabni we have ha'ulaika, ha'ulai and ulaika. And for mu'rab, which are those that can change, we have a whole list of them. Now again, from the ones that change, we can break those into two categories. They are those that change, and they change in their own structure. The original word does not, the original singular word does not look like the plural word. We call that jam'u taksir. It's a broken or irregular plural. Okay? We also have another form of plural where the original word, as we saw at the end, it keeps its form and we just add a wow and a noon on the end, and that we're going to discuss in our next video. So now let's get to your work that you're going to do. And again, this is not homework. You're not going to have any homework this week in terms of you don't need to check in the assignments. I'm simply sending these videos to you. You go over them and we will just review the information on this coming Sunday. Okay, so you don't need to check in, but you do need to do it if you want to be caught up. Okay, so we're now going to the Quran. I have selected ayat from Surah Yusuf. You are not going to translate these ayats. I know that's big breath of relief, huh? All right. So what are you going to do? Well, in these sentences, I have underlined a word for you, and I've also emboldened it. So these bold and underlined words, what I would like you to do is, these are plurals found in the surah. Now, these plurals might have some additions here. We're going to do the first two together so that you can find it. Okay. Uh, these words might have some additions here, so those are things that you're going to have to keep in mind. For example, like this calf here is a pronoun. It's not a part of the original word. So you are going to have to spend time looking in your dictionary trying to find the original singular form. So that's what I want you to do. So these are the plurals that are underlined. You're going to go in your dictionary and you're going to try to find the singular form. So here we have el-qasas. So you're going to need to look in your dictionary and find el-qasas. Okay? So the first one that we have here is el-qasas. Okay? So of course you're going to take the alif lam off, and then you have qasas. So we can see here with these three letters that the root must be qaf, sod, sod. So now you would go to your dictionary, you would look for that root. Okay? So now we're in qaf. The two S's represent two sods. Yeah, so we're in qassa. So now we'll move down. So it says here qas. We don't see any plurals here. Then we see qussa, but it says qusas. Is that the word that we're looking for? No, this says qasas. Doesn't say qusas. So that's not our word. Qusas and qisas, forelock and lock of hair. No. Then we have qissa, manner of cutting, narratives or tale. So we have qisas, which again, according to what we have, is not the word that we are looking for. This says qasas. Then we come here and it says qasas. Now here it says clippings. So it seems to be a plural of this here. Cuttings, chips, snips, shreds, narrative, tale, and story. So qasas, it's telling us, also can mean story or stories. So I don't know why they've done this, but qasas is a plural of qissa, but that doesn't matter. It's here. Qasas is written here. So you would go here now, and you now just know that that is story, qasas. The original word would be qissa, even though they didn't write that there. I've looked up most of the rest of them, and you won't have that problem. Although you will have a problem with this other one, which is why I'm happy I'm doing it with you. The next one that we have is ikhwatik. Ikhwatik. Okay? Now, the kaf here is extra, because that just means your. So now we're left with ikhwat. Ikhwat. So now we're going to have to make some decisions about what remains and what's supposed to come off. The waw is a weak letter. The hamza could take the place of the weak letter. Taz can be removed. For the sake of brevity, we're just going to cut to the chase. Ikhwa comes from ach. And I do believe that that's one of the words that we have from the. Do we have it here on our list? Yeah, there we go. So this one is actually even in your book. Okay, so you have ach and ikhwa. But if we were looking for this in the dictionary, then again, here we have ach, and then here we have ikhwa. Now, this is the electronic print of the dictionary. And weirdly enough, it's not showing the ta. If you actually go to the paperback, or the, sorry, not the paperback, the paper version of this dictionary, you'll see the ta there. And it's almost indicated here because of this a. Because we're this, like this, and it would just be ahu. But it's ikhwa. There's a ta marbuta. Somehow it didn't come up in the electronic version, but it is available. You will see it in the paper version if you look it up. So ikhwa comes from ach. Okay, so here basically for this sheet, then you would simply write ach. So you have about 9 more examples that you're going to find the singular versions of. Some of them will be repeated, and most of them will be new words. So this is the document I'm going to be sending to you from Surah to Yusuf. It tells you the ayat, but basically all I want you to do is I've identified the plural for you, so I just want you to find the singular for each word. So hopefully that's clear. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them to me at accessiblearabic@gmail.com. So this is the first of 5 videos, as I've mentioned. Tomorrow, much earlier, inshallah, in the morning, I plan to send you your second video. Jazakallah khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك وصلى الله على نبينا محمد. Again, if you have any questions, any concerns, please don't hesitate to send them to me. This is what we'll be covering for the next 5 days. Not this lesson, but basically just presenting the important lessons from each chapter of the book and the major concepts that we want to make sure that we have down and that we want to cover.